Well, hello everyone. My name is Joy Mahoney, and I am putting this video, hopefully a brief video together for you, just to give you a little bit of information about Classy Creatives, which is a program being offered for the first time in Gympie in term 2 of 2022. The dates for the program start, they're a Thursday every week for 8 weeks. Thursday, April 28th is the first one, and they'll go all the way through to June 16, which is the last of the 8-week program. And that particular date gives parents and carers the opportunity to step in for the last half hour of the program, have some nibbles and some drinks, and actually witness the end result of what the students have been putting together. So it's kind of like a little wrap-up performance week for the students and for the parents and carers of those particular young people. So that's the date of the program. Starts at 3:30, finishes at 5 o'clock every Thursday on those particular weeks. And the location of the program is being held at 20 Apollonian Vale in Gympie, which is, I'm going to say, 100 metres down from the Australian Hotel. So if you know where the Aussie Hotel is, you're very, very close to the little white hall, where the CWA ladies meet, and there's also first aid training that goes on in that hall. So if you go past the white hall with first aid training and CWA signs, that is the place we're at. It's a great little place, it's lovely. So limited number of people in this program. Maximum number of young people is 7 for this first one, and I'll limit it to that just so that we can do a really excellent job of this first time around running this program. So I'm excited to run it for the first time in term 2. So it's called Classy Creatives, and I'll go through a few things, and feel free to reach out, text me, email me, get in touch somehow, just to ask questions if I'm leaving out important information, or if there's something you're not too sure about or need clarification on. So my name is Joy Mahoney. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. I have been in paid youth work in Gympie since 2012, and loved it thoroughly, challenged by it all the time. And what a privilege it is to work with the emerging generation coming up underneath us oldies. So it is such an honour and a privilege to work with these young people. They are just so much fun. I have been a youth worker in a paid position and volunteer positions in New Zealand, and also I lived in the United States and did youth work there as well. So Equipped Community is directed towards investing in people across all generations and all backgrounds. It's my desire to invest in people holistically, in body, mind and soul. So the intent of Classy Creatives is to do that in some way, in a creative way. So that good old song from The Sound of Music, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So basically Classy Creatives is a way for us to couch some robust social emotional learning and bookend that with some creative expression on either side of it. So the learning is like the meat in the sandwich, between some song and some vocal stuff and some creative expression musically. So the students, the young people that I'm likely to be dealing with have been sitting in school, in a school context all day. So what we're going to do is set them free to create and to express, but we're going to do some really lovely learning in between with some good stuff to eat and drink as well in the middle of all that. So I'll get to the actual content of what that is in a minute. But the content of this program is based on a John C. Maxwell book called Sometimes You Win and Sometimes You Learn, and this is the teenage version, so it's relevant for this particular age group. I'll get to that in a minute, but at the beginning of the 90 minutes of programming begins with the vocal side of things, and I've got I think I've got about 8 songs that we're going to work together with these young people. And basically first we'll watch the YouTube video of the song, and then I've got a fantastic background track that sounds almost identical to the original recording, and that lets the young people sing and lead vocals for that song. So it's going to be a learning process about being more confident, projecting the voice, standing with confidence, owning your space. So a lot of singing in that first 20-25 minutes, learning songs, repeating songs, tweaking little things. Maybe if we've got a part that we're doing really well, particularly, we'll chuck some harmonies and some different bits and pieces and some fun stuff in there to decorate the song a little bit differently. So that'll be the first 20-25 minutes. We'll transition to the learning from the John Maxwell book. Here is the front cover of the book. Go. So it's Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn for teens, John C. Maxwell. And because it's an 8-week program, let me read the chapter titles to you. So the first chapter says, When You're Losing, Everything Hurts. Chapter 2 is Humility, the Spirit of Learning. Chapter 3, Reality, the Foundation of Learning. Chapter 4, Responsibility, the First Step of Learning. Chapter 5, Improvement, the Focus of Learning. Chapter 6, Hope, the Motivation of Learning. Chapter 7, Teachability, the Pathway of Learning. Chapter 8, Adversity, the Catalyst for Learning. Chapter 9, Problems, Opportunities for Learning. Chapter 10, Bad Experiences, the Perspective for Learning. Chapter 11, Change, the Price for Learning. Chapter 12, Maturity, the Value of Learning. And the final chapter, chapter 13, Winning Isn't Everything, but Learning is. So how we'll operate this, working through each chapter. Week 1 will be chapter 1, and then further on from that, every week we'll tackle the following 2 chapters. So it'll be a first chapter, first week, and then chapter 2 and 3 on week 2, and so on and so forth until we get through the entire book. And it is fantastic stuff. So at the end of the 8 weeks, I'll have the book. They'll have the folder to take with them with all the kind of reflective learning that they've done in that space. Really great stuff, and they'll have a certificate to go along with it. So it'll be really good for in terms of popping on their resume as well, that they've done this course, and that's something they can add in there and demonstrate that they've been very intentional about their learning journey in terms of influence and leadership skills and self-leadership skills. So the last third of the class will be what I call a human video section, and that basically more or less is a blend between sign language to a piece of music and a very simple dance move. So blend those 2 together and you've got kind of what I call a human video is. But the students will also be able to collaborate and engage in the choreography of the movements of these songs as well. There is a required deposit of $30, and that will get the students their book, their paperback book, and that will get them their folder with all of the, as they collect them week to week, their fill in the blanks forms from each chapter and their worksheets as well, that they're answering specific questions on the topics presented in every chapter. So again, that's a $30 deposit, and by Thursday, 21 April, by the end of the close of business on that day, and every week of the program is another $10 per week. So it is a $30 upfront registration cost plus $10 every week for the 8 weeks. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. So to get registered, you would go to the Equip community website, pull up the form that you can download. It's a PDF form that you can download for registering for young people under the age of 18. I'll show you what that looks like on the website in a minute. You need to fill that form out, scan it, and email it back to me. You can see the email address on the website, and email that back to me, and I will then email you an invoice for the $30 registration, and that will hold your space. And that needs to be in by the 21st of April. I did say that there is food and drink going to be offered at that teaching time, at 25 minutes in the middle, where we do work on the book. Can I make scones or pikelets and jam and cream, or we have carrot cake or hummingbird cake or cheesecake or whatever, and Milo and juice, whatever. It'll be a lovely little yummy, delicious, nourishing food wise, and nourishing our brains and our souls as well as we cover this material. So that's what's going to be happening. So it'll be important on the registration form, on that note, to note any food allergies or any food sensitivities or any drink sensitivities or allergies as well, so that I'm not causing people to go into some kind of allergic reaction by preparing them something that they shouldn't be eating. So please do note dietary concerns, allergies on the form in that particular spot, which I'll show you in a minute. I hope you can see this this document. It's a very simple document. So I'll just scroll through these songs. These are the songs that we're going to be singing at the beginning of each session. So, and a little bit of a description on the song. So they're directed at young people for the most part. I think the only old song there that you can see, number 4, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. It's a lovely throwback song. It's great. That would be a good song for a human video too in the long run. So I'll just scroll down these songs so you can get an idea of the stuff we'll be singing. All very positive, all very uplifting, upbeat. There's no sexual content. There's no, I'll just use a ridiculous word and say yuck. There's no yuck here. It's all positive and happy and uplifting and life affirming. And so you'll see that hopefully as we scroll through there. This is an example of week 1. This is the fill in the blank form that every week the students will be getting that touches on each chapter. So this is from chapter 1, and the title of the chapter is When You're Losing Everything Hurts, and that will be some really great learning. This is the registration form that you will find on the website, and I'll show you where it is on the website shortly. You're going to fill this form out with your information first on this first page, as it says there, section 1, parent to carer details. Then page 2 is the part where you're going to start giving information and details about the child or young person. So if you've got more than one child that's going to come along on this journey with us, you'll need a separate form for each young person. So I can be clear on specifics on each young person, if it's a dietary thing, or if they've got some kind of allergy or special need, or some illness or condition that I need to really be aware of and monitor. That will be important for me to keep these individual for each child. So general information. Now further down here on page 2, I've got a question about food and beverage allergies that you can mention there if there are any, or any non-food or beverage related, number 2, allergies. Number 3, if there's any child-specific concerns, if they've got some kind of phobia, if they've got an illness or a limitation of any nature, if there's a history of trauma, if they've got a current injury or they're still getting over an injury, or a specific need that's intellectual or social, emotional, that I need to be aware of, just to really make sure I'm doing my best to care for them as best as possible. That would be really helpful. Number 4 is court orders, parenting arrangements and protective orders that may be in place for that young person that I need to be aware of, just so that I can follow suit and align lawfully. Number 5 is alternative adult contacts, and this is for yourself to designate people that you are giving your consent to pick your child up at the end of the session if you are unable or unavailable to pick your child up at that 5 o'clock time. So for your child to be picked up successfully and safely, it must be taking place by either yourself or by one of these people on this form here. Just a couple of questions there. Do you give media release consent if I do take photos of our sessions? Do you give your consent for the face of your child and their first name to be mentioned on official Facebook Equip Community page or the official Equip Community website? The last thing on the bottom there is, do you want to stay in touch in terms of receive email updates from Equip Community as new programs become released, and so that you can stay in contact, and maybe there's something for you as an adult coming up in the future that you can participate in and enjoy. So this is the homepage of the website, Equip Community, and you're going to scroll down, so all the way past all of this stuff, other programs, so you can have a scan through other bits and pieces that we've got available going on at the moment, and potentially coming up again. So in this form here, it says forms for download. At the bottom here is Equip Community Registration Form, child or young person under 18 years, and that's a PDF. You download that 4-page form, and that will give you the ability to register for this program. I'm going to leave it there. Please get in touch with me if there's anything else you need. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for looking into this further. It is an absolute honour to serve the Gympie and Kalula community in this way, and I'm really excited to get underway next term with classy creatives. So again, reach out if there's anything that I've missed or if you need further clarification on, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Looking forward to a great term 2 of Classy Creatives. Take care. Bye-bye.